morning, children. So in the last session we were discussing about work. So I'll revise a bit about the same things what we have discussed in our last session and continue the newer topics. So we discussed that if a force is acting on a body and that particular body gets displaced in the direction of force, then we say that work is said to be, then we say that work is done. Now to explain that, the first we use this formula F into S, where F is the force and S is the displacement. Then we discussed about if the force is not in the direction of the displacement, then we will take the component of displacement component of displacement in the direction of force or the component of force. Then we Fs cos theta. Then we got this formula F into S cos theta. Now when you look at these things, what is F here? F is a vector quantity, while S is also a vector quantity, but work is a scalar quantity. But you can see here that now I can write it as the dot product of F and S. The dot product of F and S is nothing but work done. That is a scalar quantity. So this is what we have learned about work. And we learned about two types of work, if you remember. That is, one I call it as positive work and the other one is negative work. What is positive work and what is negative work? Positive work done and negative work done. Now say if a body is falling under the gravity, let me take an example that, say a body is falling under gravity like this. So the displacement is in the downward direction, S is in the downward direction, and even the gravity, the force of gravity is also in the downward direction. So both displacement and the force are in only one direction. In such case, we say that the work done is said to be positive, or work done is called as positive here. In the reverse case, let me say now I am throwing the body up. So the body is moving in the upward direction. So displacement is in the upward direction while force is in the downward direction. So the force of gravity will always act in the downward direction only. While here the body is thrown up, and the body is thrown up, the displacement is in the upward direction while the force is in the downward direction. So this shows that the displacement and force are in the opposite direction. Then in such case we say that work done is negative. Okay. Now in the same, once again I will take the same example to apply this F into S into cos theta. See here, what is the theta? Now the F and S are in the same line. Then theta will be equal to 0. This is the first case I am discussing. When theta is equal to 0, then work done will be equal to Fs cos 0. That is not, cos 0 is nothing but 1. Therefore we get it as work done is equal to F into S. Now I will give you one more example where a person carrying a heavy weight on his head and walking. So the displacement is in this direction while the force acting is in this direction. So this is the force and this is the displacement. So the angle between both displacement and force is 90 degrees. When it is 90 degrees, then work done will be equal to F into S into cos 90, which will be 0. Cos 90 is 0, therefore the work done is 0. So this is the second case. In the first case, when the work done and displacement are in the same line, then theta will be equal to 0. Now I have taken one more example where a laborer or a coolie is carrying a heavy weight on his head. The force will be acting in the downward direction while the displacement will be perpendicular to that force acting. So then in that case theta will be equal to 90 degrees. So when theta is equal to 90 degrees, the force acting, the work done also will be equal to 0. Another case I can take. Now say a person is carrying a heavy weight and standing. Then what is displacement? Then obviously displacement is equal to 0. So when displacement is 0, work done also will be equal to 0. Therefore, when there is no displacement, then we say that the work done is 0. Okay. When theta is equal to 90 degrees, that is when the direction of force and the direction of displacement are perpendicular to each other, then we say that the work done is 0. In the same case, in the same way, yesterday we discussed about two cases where I showed you that we can break the displacement into two components, that is horizontal component and vertical component. Then we took the component which is in the direction of force, displacement component in the direction of force, and we took we even broke force into two components, horizontal and perpendicular components. We took the component which was in the direction of the displacement of the body. Then we got this formula W is equal to Fs cos theta. As I already told you, we can express it in dot as a dot product, that is vector F dot vector F, which is nothing but Fs cos theta. So in this way we discussed in the last class. So now in extension that we will go to the next topic where we will be discussing about what is the case when the force is variable. Okay, what is the case when the force is variable? Now till now we have been discussing about the constant force. That means F is constant here. In all the cases what we have discussed that F is constant. Now work done is equal to F into S. For simplification I have taken. Now here F, in all our cases we took it as F is constant. Now let us take a case where the force will be varying with time. Let us plot that work done on a graph, taking F as F on the y-axis and S in the x-axis. Then we will get an exponential graph. So how can we calculate the work done here? Simple. The area under this graph, the area under this curve will give us the work done. Simple. You take the formula half into h into base, or half into height of the triangle into the base. That will give us the work done. So this way we can calculate the work done when the force is varying. Okay, so till now we have discussed about work done when the force is constant, work done when the force is varying. When the force is varying, very simple, plot it on a graph sheet and find out the area under the curve. So the area under the curve will give us the work done. So this is what is the work done for a variable force. We have been discussing about work done, but never we touched about the units of work done. Now we will try to look into the units of work done. So the same formula once again what we have, W is equal to F into S. So force is, the unit of force is Newton, the unit of displacement is meter. So the unit of work done is Newton meter, which you will be calling it as joule. Okay, which you will be calling it as joule. Okay, name after the famous scientist. So this is a smaller unit of joule. We will be using kilojoules, that is 10 to the power of 3 joules, megajoule, kilojoule, megajoule, gigajoules. So we can just go on increasing by powers of 10 here. So kilojoule, megajoule, gigajoule. So these are the bigger units of work done. So what is the unit? So this is in SI system. What is the unit in CGS system then? As you know, it is nothing but erg. Okay, it is erg. So how do you convert this joule into erg? Very simple. So we have 1 joule is equal to 1 Newton meter. But Newton is given by 10 to the power of 5 dyne. 10 to the power of 5 dyne into 10 to the power of 3 centimeter. What I have done? I have converted this Newton into dyne and I have converted this meter into centimeter. It is nothing but 2. So 1 joule will be equal to 10 to the power of 7 N. 1 joule will be equal to 10 to the power of 7 N. So this is how we can convert the units from SI system to CGS system. Once again I will repeat. So the work done, the unit of work done is Newton meter. Okay, the unit of work done is Newton meter. That we are calling it as 1 joule, and the bigger units are kilojoule and megajoule. So how can we define Newton meter? if 1 Newton of force causes a displacement of 1 meter, then we call the work done is said to be as 1 joule. Once again I repeat it. If 1 Newton of force causes a displacement of 1 meter on a body, then the work done is said to be 1 joule. And the bigger units of joule is kilojoule, that is 10 to the power of 3 joule, megajoule, that is 10 to the power of 6 joule. So the CCS system, the unit of CCS system for work done is erg. So how do we convert 1 joule into erg? Very simple. I have taken 1 joule is equal to 1 Newton meter. But 1 Newton, we know that 1 Newton is nothing but 10 to the power of 5 dyne. So I have substituted, instead of Newton, I have substituted in form of dyne here, that is 10 to the power of 5 dyne into 10 to the power of 2 centimeter. I have converted meter into centimeter, so you get 10 to the power of 7 erg. So 1 joule will be equal to 10 to the power of 7 erg. So these are the units of work done. So there are many, you will be getting many examples, you can show many examples of work done because you need to discuss different cases here. Yesterday, the other day while I was doing my last session, I discussed. So, a earth moving around the sun. Earth moving around the sun. What is the work done when earth is moving around the sun? It is work done is 0. Why it is 0? Because it is coming back to the same point, and that is 1 point. And what is the other thing? The force is perpendicular to the direction of the body. The centripetal force acting on the body will be perpendicular to the direction of the body. When it is perpendicular, once again theta will be equal to 90 degrees. When theta is 90 degrees, then obviously the work done will be equal to 0. So whenever you are talking about work done, we should know the angle between the directions, the angle between the displacement, the direction of displacement and the direction of force acting. So you should check whether the work done is 0 or the work done is maximum. When the work done will be maximum? When theta is equal to 0. When the work done is minimum? When theta is equal to 90 degrees. So in this way we can go on discussing about work. So now let us come to the very next topic, that is power. So what is power here? I will take one example to make you understand power. Say a person A is doing some work in 10 seconds. Person B is doing the same work in 7 seconds. Then what do we say? Person B is more powerful than person A. So he is doing the work faster, the same work. In both the cases, the same work. In both the cases, it's the same work. So the person A is taking 10 seconds to complete the same work, while person B is taking 7 seconds. So the power executed by person B is more than the person executed by person A. Yeah, they are doing the same work, but this person is taking a bit longer duration than this person. So person A is doing or is having less power than person B. Now how do you define power? Very simple. Power is the rate of doing work, or I put it here, work done by time taken. So what is the unit of work done we have? The unit of work done is joule. So what is the unit of time? It is second. So joule per second is nothing but watt. Okay, so that is the unit of power. How do you define power first? The rate of doing work is called as power. So the rate of doing work is called as power, and the unit of power is watt. How do you define 1 watt? If 1 joule of work is done in 1 second, then we say that it is called as watt. So this watt is a smaller unit once again. Once again it is named after a great scientist. So watt is a smaller unit. You have kilowatt, that is 10 to the power of 3 watt, 10 to the power of 6 watt, which is called as megawatt. I think most of you have seen this unit megawatt. When you are expressing electricity, you will be expressing in megawatts. So like this, we can use the bigger units. Okay, 10 to the power of 3 is nothing but kilowatt, 10 to the power of 6 watt is nothing but megawatt. Now there comes a question, is this what is the only unit we are using it in power? No, we are using one more unit which is called as horsepower. I think you have come across this word when you are talking with laymen and all, you will be getting this unit horsepower. So horsepower is also the unit of power. It is the older unit of power. And remember, 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watt. 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watt. Okay. Now we have discussed about watt. We have discussed about kilowatt. You have come across another type of unit called as kilowatt hour. What is this kilowatt hour? We will discuss about this special unit, this kilowatt hour, which you will be seeing through almost in day-to-day basis. Okay. So the units of power, as I have already discussed, it is watt. So the bigger unit is 1 megawatt, 1 kilowatt. Kilowatt is nothing but 10 to the power of 3 watt. Megawatt is nothing but 10 to the power of 6 watt. Gigawatt, 1 gigawatt is nothing but 10 to the power of 9 watt. So these are the bigger units of watt, while the smaller units which we can be using is 10 to the power of minus 3 watt. It is nothing but 1 milliwatt. 10 to the power of minus 6 watt. It is nothing but 1 microwatt. Okay, so watt is the unit of power. 1 gigawatt is 10 to the power of 6 watt. 1 megawatt is 10 to the power of gigawatt is 10 to the power of 9 watt. Megawatt is 10 to the power of 6. Kilowatt is 10 to the power of 3 watt. 10 to the power of minus 3 watt is known as milliwatt, and 10 to the power of 6 watt is minus 6 watt is known as microwatt. So this is power. Once again, I will revise a bit about power and go to energy. What is power? The rate of doing work is known as power. So power, the unit of power is watt. How do you define watt? If 1 joule of work is done in 1 second, then we call it as 1 watt. So what is the older unit of power? It is horsepower. 1 horsepower is the older unit. So it is nothing but it is equal to 746 watt. Okay. So the older unit they used to use it as horsepower. So the conversion rate from horsepower to watt is 746 watt. So this is about power. Okay. Now let us go to the next one. That is energy. As you have already defined in your lower classes about energy. Energy, the rate, the capacity to do work is called as energy. Okay, the capacity to do work is known as energy, and the units for energy is same as that of work done. The units for energy is same as that of work done. So once again, the unit of energy is joule. Once again, the bigger units is kilojoule, megajoule, and smaller units is millijoule. This kilojoule is 10 to the power of 3, mega is 10 to the power of 6, milli is 10 to the power of minus 3 joule. So these are the units of energy. The capacity to do work is called as energy. I'll just give an example to make you understand why we are using the same units for work done as well as energy. There is a simple thing. What you need to understand, whatever work you do on a body, will be stored as energy in the body. To give you a small example here, now to pump water which is in the ground or on the ground level, if you want to pump that water to the first floor or second floor, what will you be doing? You will be doing some work using a pump. Okay, that pump will pump the water or push the water to the first floor or second floor. So against the gravitational force, it is doing work against the gravitational force. But to bring the water from that first or second floor to the ground floor, do we need to we need to do any work? No, it will come down on its own. Why? Because whatever work we have done on the water is stored as potential energy in the water. Therefore, whatever work or the work done on any body will be stored as energy in that body. I'll give one more very good example. So I have a chalk in my hand. What I am doing, I will do some work in bringing this chalk to a certain height. Now what I have done, I have worked against the force of gravity or gravitational force to bring the chalk up. So this chalk has got some energy in it so that it will fall back on its own under the force of gravity once again. Okay, therefore work done and energy are one and the same. We are expressing, if you are doing work on the body, then we call it as work done. If we are extracting energy from that body, we call it as energy. Okay, so therefore we will be using the same units as work done here. Okay, the other units of work done or of energy are, so it may be confusing for you. Watt hour. What is this watt hour? Watt hour. If we do work of 1 joule for 1 second per second, joule of work of 1 joule per second for 1 hour, the energy what we have spent is called as watt hour. I'll repeat it again because it may be a bit confusing to you. If we work or if we spend some energy of 1 joule per second, I took it as 1 joule for 1 second for 1 hour. For 1 hour, then we call it as watt hour. See, similarly, now I'll convert it into kilowatt hour. What is kilowatt hour? Instead of 1 joule, what I can write here? If I do 1000 joule of work in 1 second for 1 hour, then we call it as 1 kilowatt hour. Okay, because we are doing 1000 joules of work in 1 second, this is called kilowatt. For how much of time we are working? We are working for 1 hour. Then it will, so we call it as 1 kilowatt hour. So if I put it in another form, 1000, that is 1000 joule into, I will convert this hour into seconds, that is 60. This 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes and this 1 minute will be equal to 60 seconds. So how many zeros you have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So into 10 to the power of 5 joule. So 1 kilowatt hour is equal to so much of energy. Means this kilowatt hour, whatever unit we are seeing it in our homes for electricity, is nothing but kilowatt hour. You will be calling it as 1 unit. That unit is nothing but 1 kilowatt hour. So that 1 kilowatt hour is equal to so much of energy. Means if we have used 1 kilowatt hour, that means we have used so much of energy. It means that we have used so much of energy. This is the unit, commercial unit what we will be using for our electricity at homes. Okay, so this is about energy. So what is energy? Energy is the capacity to do work. So that energy we are expressing it in, once again, joules. Okay, so we have other units like watt hour. What is 1 watt hour? If we do 1 joule of work in 1 second for 1 hour, then we call it as 1 watt hour. Similarly, if you do 1000 joules of work in 1 second for 1 hour, we call it as kilowatt hour. So that kilowatt hour we have converted into joules here. How we have converted? Kilowatt is nothing but 1000 joules, or else I'll put it here. 1 kilowatt is nothing but 1000 joules into 60. I have converted that hour into 60 minutes into 60 seconds, and finally I got it as 3.36 into 10 to the power of 5 joules. So this is how we can express energy. So we have covered work, we have covered power, we have covered energy. But there is a bigger topic called as different forms of energy, which I will be doing it in the next session. Thank you, Vanita.